For day 11 of the ramen review, we have this one. I gotta say, it has one of the most appealing front covers I've seen. So yeah, let's see how good this is. Unlike the picture, it looks pretty normal. The broth tasted almost like any other Korean instant ramen. However, it was still a bit different, so I could see it being a useful ramen to keep in your pantry when you get tired of the normal Shin ramen. In terms of the rest of the ramen, it wasn't anything special. Noodles were normal and the toppings were your regular toppings. Overall, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of bottled water, if Ice Mountain is really good and Fiji is bad, I rank this ramen as the Sani. For day 12 of the ramen review, we have this one. This ramen directly translates to snack ramen. It is noticeably smaller and looks like you only have to cook this for 2 minutes. On top of that, it looks like it is less in calories than our usual ramens. Hopefully it still tastes like a normal ramen and not some sort of weird diet food. I may have put too much water in it, but oh well. Overall, it isn't bad, not spicy at all. Kinda tastes like seaweed soup if it was spicy. In terms of the rest of the dish, it was alright. I can see how it was less in calories because the noodles were thinner and the broth was less oily and salty. However, it didn't taste horrible like it was some sort of weird diet food. Overall, it is not the best ramen I ate, but not the worst as well. I would recommend this only if you wanted to eat ramen, but you were also calorie counting. Anyways, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of beverages, if juice is great and Coke is bad, then this ranks as water. Today we're eating jjajangmyeon, which is, well, Korean, Chinese, soybean sauce noodle. And with that smooth introduction, this is day 13 of the ramen review. I was home alone, so I made myself a quick dinner. Usually the cooking steps end here, but for that day, I ate it with some mandu. Luckily, I had some homemade mandus lying around, so I'm gonna heat it up real quick. Also, if you're interested in the recipe, check out my longer North Korean mandu video. Anyways, I fried them up in some oil till they're nice and golden. I also fried myself an egg and made sure that I got some crispy edges. Once the noodles were cooked, I drained the water and added the sauce into the noodles, then I mixed it and plopped my egg on top. I may have overcooked the egg, but oh well. I finished the egg with some Korean pepper flakes for some spice. For the mandu dipping sauce, I mixed soy sauce, vinegar, and Korean pepper flakes. And with that, I have this. To be honest, I'll eat this every day if ramen wasn't horrible for you. As I suspected, the egg was overcooked, but it still tasted so good with the noodles wrapped around it. I don't know who cooked this, but that noodle was cooked perfectly. The mandus were perfectly cooked as well, nice and crispy and perfectly golden. The dipping sauce gave a nice acidic punch that cut the oiliness of the mandus. Although I did notice that there were some clumps of meat in the mandu, so I probably could have done a better job mixing the filling. I also wish I cooked my egg properly so I can have the yolk running through my noodles, but oh well, still tastes good. But yeah, I think this is the perfect weekday meal since it is really filling and does not require a lot of cooking. Anyways, if I were to rank this dish on a scale of white mom beverages, if coffee is good and wine is not so good, then this dish ranks as kombucha. Yeah, it's pretty good. Also, they have like potatoes in this. I think this is a meat one, but there's also potato chunks. For day 14 of the ramen review, we have this one. This ramen is a seafood ramen, but not a jjampong ramen, which is also commonly seafood themed. To make this a seafood ramen, they put 2 slices of dried kelp, so let's see if the oceanness really comes out from this broth. Has anyone tried busho barbecue flavor? It smells like that. In terms of the broth, it was alright. Like I said, it tastes very barbecue-y for some reason. It's like that fake barbecue taste you get from chips. The noodles were pretty good though. It was thick, but not gelatinous like some thick noodles are, but you should probably be careful with the cook time since they are so thick. If I were to review this ramen on a scale of TV shows, if Game of Thrones, excluding the last few seasons, was great and Wednesday was bad, this ramen ranks as Better Call Saul. For day 15 of the ramen review, we have this one. This ramen is jjormyeon, which is a cold spicy noodle dish usually served with a hard-boiled egg. But for today's video, I'm gonna eat it my way since I was a bit hungry after work, so let's get cooking. Instead of eating it with a hard-boiled egg, I ate the noodles with some thinly sliced beef. Once I fried it up, I put it in my pot and gave it a good mix. This jjormyeon is pretty good. It tasted like the original dish in that it had thick but gelatinous noodles. On top of that, the red sauce was pretty on point. However, the star of the show is obviously this combination of cold spicy noodles and thinly sliced beef. This combination of food is basically one of my favorites. Overall, I would recommend this combination and this ramen in general. But if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of social media platforms, if YouTube is great and Instagram is not so good, this ranks as Vine. For day 16 of the ramen review, we have this one. This is another jjajangmyeon ramen, so black bean paste noodles. To cook this style of noodle, all you have to do differently is to boil the noodles without the seasoning. And once cooked, you drain the noodles and mix it with the included seasoning. Simple. I also cooked up some mandus I had lying around. I fried them up till they were nice and golden on all the sides. To have a completed dish, I also cooked up a fried egg. I guess I was hungry on this day. Anyways, this time I was extra careful on the timing because I overcooked it last time and I don't want that to happen again. Since I'm on YouTube, here is a shot of me popping the egg yolk. As you can see, I've successfully cooked the perfect fried egg. Although, I guess I could have more color on the egg. Anyways, this dish is also one of my favorites. I mean, who doesn't like wrapping the egg in a noodle blanket and then eating the noodle that's slightly coated in the egg yolk to provide that extra hit of richness? It's delicious. In terms of the dumpling, this was pretty good as well. Nice and crisp on the outside and steamy in the middle. In terms of the dipping sauce, it's just soy sauce and some vinegar. This sauce provides the acidity in this overall rich dish. Overall, I really like this dish, as you may have noticed. Sometimes just eating instant ramen is not filling and boring, but if you add some side dishes, it turns a regular instant ramen snack into a full-on lunch. Although I do recommend Day 13's jjajangmyeon over this brand. Now we're gonna move on to the ranking of this dish. If I were to rank this ramen on a scale of days of the week, if Monday is great and Wednesday is bad, this dish ranks as Friday. For day whatever of the ramen challenge, we have this one. I've tried this before. It's basically a sesame oil ramen. And yeah, let's see how good this is. Oh man, it's all cracked. This is the egg block. As per tradition, I try the broth first. Not spicy at all and very flavorful. I knew a guy back in high school who would only eat this. If you like that toasted sesame oil smell, this is a ramen for you, to be honest. Anyways, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of desserts, if ice cream is great and brownies are bad, this ramen ranks as mint chocolate. So this is jjormyeon. It's like a spicy, gelatinous, cold noodle dish, and it's pretty good. It's one of my favorite dishes, and I'm eager to show it to you guys. Boiling water. We need to add our noodles and our veggie package. And with that, this is day 18 of the ramen review, so let's cook this dish up. This ramen has thicker noodles and it is a cold noodle dish, so it is crucial that you cook the noodles all the way through because you can't rely on the noodles cooking once drained since you are rinsing it in cold water. In terms of what I'm gonna eat with this, it's meat. I don't know if eating this with meat is the traditional way of doing it, but I like eating spicy noodles with meat. The perfect combination. So I got a ton of leftover meat. Oops. Rip. Still frozen. It's just thinly sliced meat. With that, I just fried up some leftover frozen meat in some oil and seasoned it with salt and pepper. Also, see my frying pan tossing skills? Once that is done, I brought my pot with the drained noodles and put in the rest of the ingredients in. Since this is the spicier version, I added the extra seasoning pack included, which I'm assuming is straight up capsaicin. I then added the spicy marinade and mixed up the noodles. Once done, I drizzled some crushed sesame seeds and it was good to go. This may not look the most appetizing dinner, but trust me, this is legit one of my favorite dishes. Meat and spicy noodles. I know this is the spicy version of the regular version, but man, really spicy. Anyways, I would recommend this dish to anyone who likes spicy ramen or beef. Try them together and I guarantee this is your next favorite dish that you'll be cooking up daily. With that, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of BTS members, if Jimin is great and Jungkook is bad, then this ramen ranks as J-Hope. For day whatever of the ramen review, we have this one. This is the spicy version of the ramen we ate last time, the sesame oil ramen. So let's see how good this is. There's a sesame oil pack. What the heck? Okay, it's definitely more spicy. I'm pretty sure it tastes less sesame oily. And with that, this ramen is spicy just because it is a trend to make everything spicy. Does not include the sesame oil pack, which I find totally bizarre. Maybe it is a defect of this one, but leaving it out doesn't make sense to me since the sesame oil is the only reason people buy this ramen. Anyways, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of Netflix shows, if Never Have I Ever is really good and Riverdale is bad, then this ramen ranks as Peaky Blinders. Day 3 of the ramen challenge, we have this one. This is another seafood style noodle. It's not officially called jjampong, but as you can see, it is angry. Let's see how spicy this is. But do you see how thick these noodles are? What the hell? Overall, the ramen is pretty good. It is just as seafoody as the original and also has that thick noodles you come to expect with this ramen. If you want that extra hit of spice, I would choose this over the original one. I would say this is one of the better ramens that did the extra spiciness concept, if that makes sense. Anyways, if I were to rank this ramen on a scale of countries, if India is great and Senegal is not so good, this ramen ranks as the United Kingdom.